This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now. This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.
What is up, 24/7 Buff Pandemonium, K-Gun Report, right here live. We've been off for 2 weeks. So excited to talk to you guys. We got our boy Patrick Hughes saying, "What's up, Mafia? Get to cracking." And I already did. We're going to talk about these 53-man rosters, these way too early 53-man rosters. You're going to listen to Jarrod talk about all the people he tagged, ex-players, current players, dead players. It's going to be a great night. Here we go.
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with.
What is up, everybody? Good god dang. Can't believe it's Tuesday. Can't believe we've been gone for 2 weeks. We missed you guys. I've missed these boys. I am Swank, your host of tonight's K-Gun Report, Season 3, Episode 17. Down there in the nether regions, right over there. Our buddy, Jerry Reed. Go ahead, tell him what's up.
FLX Mafia in the house.
Ooh.
It's good to be back.
Hey,
missed you guys.
Hey, who'd you tag in all those tweets? Did you tag Abraham Lincoln in there? Or
I did. Isaiah McKenzie I tagged.
Nice.
Sal Capaccio, one of our favorites.
Nice.
And Joshua Williams, I already see him here already making conversation. So he's on there.
He says, hey, let's go Buffalo. Hey,
there you go.
Emmanuel, don't do that. We got
and a couple others.
Nicole Vargovich saying, "Go Bills." What's up? Who's that guy above you? Who's that guy? He looks just like you, but he's not you.
What's up? Hey! It's good to be back. 2 weeks lasted a long time. Almost like it was 14 days or so, but now definitely good to be back. Get the cracking. I am trying out a new beer. We usually do the IPAs. I'm hitting up Big Ditch's Doc Jams. It's a sour fruit beer. I don't usually have fruit in my beer, but this one's tackled the taste buds a little bit. I'm enjoying it.
My wife digs on those, man. Big Ditch makes some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think she likes the Berry Vision. That's one that she digs. It's pretty good.
Hers is very nice.
Patrick Hughes says, "I feel like I haven't seen you guys in 2 weeks." Yeah, I said it. We got Daniel here. We got my dog Comet here.
What's up, buddy?
We got Uncle James saying, "What's up?" Yeah, I said it. Everybody's digging on the "yeah, I said it." I'm glad, man. You know what? Hey, it's been 2 weeks, so here you go. Just for old time.
Name, I'm over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is get back to.
All right. We got Robbie from Let's Talk 716 Sports.
What's up, Robbie?
What's up, Robbie?
Our boy Johns. I heard you made out great with your little operation there, man. So we're glad to hear it. Glad to see you here. Sure. We got Ellen Lartz. What's up, Mafia? Sweating to death, but cracking. That is why we're cracking, Ellen. Oh, my God. You see this here blanket there that helps with the sound? Well, not the sound when my dogs are running around down here and my wife's making a bunch of noise, but, you know, usually it makes for a good sound barrier. That's where the AC is, right on the other side of that. So it has to travel all the way around the house before it enters here, and that means I'm going to be sweating. So I guess we'll drink some beer.
Swank, you could put like a little towel, a little washcloth, and put it right on the brim of your hat on the inside. Soak it all up.
Just over my face.
Mm-hmm.
We got Josh
and depending on when you started drinking, you could wring it out in your cup.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's a great idea. Tom, go Bills. And we got Troy Pedito saying,
there he is.
Hi. Boys.
Troy Pedito. He must be a new guy.
Why?
He hasn't been on in a while. Welcome back, Troy.
Neither have we.
I've got like a 40-pound fly flying around me right now. If you guys haven't heard it.
Not over my dogs. Yeah, so you guys went on vacation. How was your vacation? Did you have a good one?
Yeah. We went to Murrells Inlet down in South Carolina, a wonderful beach property. There's a pool there, so the kids, we have a bunch of kids, so they were able to enjoy the water in that regard. But it was a good time, good weather. There's storms that they have down there legit last 15-20 minutes, and then it's back to sunny.
Sweet.
So it was a good time.
It just so happens that every time the storm hit, we were on a pier or walking back. So every time a storm hit, we happened to be outside, which is okay. It was like 90-something degrees.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
But I recommend that place. It's beautiful, and it's minutes away from Myrtle Beach. It's minutes away from the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum, which is really fun. And there's a bunch of restaurants obviously surrounding the area. I gained a couple pounds, I'll admit.
Mm-hmm. Me too, man. I went down to the Wilds in Ohio. It's a pretty cool 10,000 acre animal refuge for African and Asian endangered and actually extinct in the wild animals. And
wow.
Went with my whole family. It was pretty cool. We had a good time, but very glad to be back here doing this with you fellers.
It's yeah, I'm loving it. I'm glad to be back.
I was set up last night already.
Jarrod the week before.
Jarrod sent us a picture last night of he's got his full setup. Guys, I'm ready. So yeah, we're ready to get going. And for those of you who read the comments, the description of today's show, we are talking about the 53-man roster. We know the rookies showed up yesterday. Right, Swank, was it yesterday?
Yep.
The camp. And then next week on the 23rd, the veterans will show up, and then camp will get started the 24th. So football is, I would say, pretty damn close to being officially here.
We're getting there, man. We got a couple questions coming in. Nicole says, where do I get the red shirt from? Well, Nicole, I think there's a couple left from that batch.
Yep.
Some select designs, but they're cheap right now, $10, I think. If you DM one of us, we can hook you up.
Yep.
And then our boy Troy says, Swank, any new design yet? We got the FLX Mafia shirts that are going to be done next week, it sounds like. So if you pre-ordered one of those, they'll be there. And then we are looking to do, I think, one other one for the Rager. And now we got a ton of news about the Rager, and it's coming around splendidly, like Mr. Burns, splendidly, So yeah, there's going to be another shirt. We talked about possibly doing the red ones again, but there's some other options on the table. If you guys got any ideas or any favorites, let us know, and we'll take it into consideration for sure. Mm-hmm. The biggest news that we got while we were on vacation separately is that it is no longer a rumor. It is no longer speculation. It's no longer a whisper. Our boy, ex-linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, Mr. Mark Maddox, is coming all the goddamn way up here to Manchester, New York at Reinvention Brewing for our second annual regular season Rager.
Yep. September
3rd. How crazy is that?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And for those of you who don't know, Mark Maddox founded the Help One Foundation, which we are doing the charity for that, for this, the Rager that we're doing September 3rd. So he's coming up. He's supporting his foundation, his charity. We're helping him out, and we're beyond excited to get that news from him this past week. And we're pumped. We're pumped. Things are coming together very nicely.
It all comes in full circle, Sky. I don't, Swank. I don't know if you guys remember, but my first autograph, my first experience at a Buffalo Bills game at the end was Mr. Mark Maddox coming up and signing a hat for me. So he's the first NFL player actually came in close contact with and had him sign something. So Mr. Mark Maddox will always have a special place in my heart as a Bills fan. And to actually have him coming back up to New York, Manchester, New York, to have a beer, to talk, to hang out for a Saturday is just awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, man, I think I've been kind of lushing over it ever since it became a possibility, but now that it's for real, just super proud of you guys, super proud of us. Like, this is a pretty cool thing, and it's awesome that, you know, the Fandemonium is the one that provided us the avenue to even get in touch with Mark to begin with, and the super fans and all that, and it's just going to be an awesome day. So, if you are interested in coming up September 3rd for the regular season Rager, Reinvention Brewing, Manchester, New York. It's right off the thruway. If you're in the state of New York, you can just hit 90 and either head west or east, and you'll hit it, man. You'll hit it. There's even a Reinvention logo on this exit here for the Shortsville Manchester exit. I saw that on the way back home.
Is it really? That's cool.
Yeah. I think I was telling Jarrod. So it's real easy to find. It's right off the thruway. We're going to have a live show. We're going to have jersey giveaways. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have all sorts of live entertainment. You can meet and greet, all sorts of what are you doing?
This helmet right here that I've had on the show multiple times will be autographed for a raffle giveaway.
By you?
Maybe.
Jared's actually gonna have to pay you money to take it.
This guy right here.
That's the value.
Anyway, thanks for not interrupting my flow. Super fans, live music by the Endless Mountain Derelicts, Reinvention's releasing their Super Fanatic beer, all for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the proceeds going towards this charity. It's gonna be legit. So come on up and hang out with us.
3P to 9P, $5 get you all that, get you into all that. So that's exciting.
Absolutely. So really quick, there's not a whole lot going on outside of this little Bills news stuff here. The rookies did report yesterday. That's awesome. And we're going to do our way too early 53-man projection. And we're working really hard on staying on time. I think we might go over it a little bit tonight. But there's like a couple quick things that I wanted to get into before we got into the 53-man roster.
Absolutely.
Any news that you guys have heard whispers of, or any rumors or anything? There was the fake Odell.
Yeah, let's get rid of that one
thing.
quick.
Okay.
I don't know why so many people are so excited about him coming up, the rumor of him coming to Buffalo. I think there's 8 receivers on this team that are better than him right now. So that's my personal opinion. I don't want him here. He makes one-handed catches out of bounds. If that's what you want, then okay. I'm not a big.
You got somebody who does it better. And he's 25 pounds heavier than he was last year, pure muscle.
Inbounds, right? He's a huge fan. He has a huge fan base outside of the United States of America and England, stuff like that. He's a good person to his fans. Give him that, but I don't want him here in Buffalo. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I don't care about him. I mean, I think the thing is, like with Bean in this front office, you can get excited about anything, and I bet you that he was probably excited when he woke up. But yeah, I don't necessarily want him here. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he would be bad depth. I don't know who he'd beat out for a starting job here, to be honest. And the guy's kind of made of glass. You know, when's the last time he played a full season? You got anything to add, Scott? Or
you guys said it all. And with the Bills' offensive, the wide receiver skill set, I don't know where he would fit. Is it going to be the perimeter wide receiver? We have Diggs, and who I think Khalil Shakir will be perfect for that. Gabriel Davis is on the other side. If anything, he'll be the 4th wide receiver, not including the slot. So I don't know where he would fit. I honestly don't know where he would fit in this offense.
Yep.
Unless he's catching one-handed passes out of bounds and he can play out there.
So his reaction on Twitter about him waking up and he was signed to the Bills was kind of off-putting too. I wonder if it would have been different if he didn't get a ring last year. You know what I mean? He's got his ring.
Do you think that was like shitty the way he did it, or no?
I did. I think it was kind of weird.
I didn't read it like that, and I think that's what's like dangerous about that. I think that he was just being like playful,
Right.
And I think he was shouting out to like Vaughn about like
Vaughn.
being a teammate or whatever. And I don't know. Like I said, I think it kind of reeked like he'd be into it. Like, oh man, so surprised, but why wouldn't you want to be on the Super Bowl favorite, a team that's built like crazy? Like, literally, he'd be the reason. It'd be a challenge for him because he could, try to mess it up.
Swank, I think it was, and oftentimes we read into how media portrays things. I think it's how the media portrayed it. They said OBJ mocks Buffalo Bills rumor of so I think that's what hit me harder.
Yeah.
So I think when I see that, because I don't like him, I kind of ran with it.
Yeah, I just saw the tweet. That kind of leads me to big news. Baker moved to Carolina. That happened too while we were gone.
So who's Carolina got now? They have Darnold, they have Baker, and who else? Who's their third guy over there?
Some other no-name guy.
Delhame.
Yeah, Delhame.
Delhame.
Jake Delhame. This guy just saw that huge fly, by the way. It's bigger than that black helmet.
You ain't kidding. It's a big one. It's a big one. But no, I mean, I thought that was hilarious news, and I had nothing more to say about that.
Yeah, he'll win the job. Whatever. They were talking about Sam Darnold possibly being on the Bills as backup next year. I don't really want that. I like the idea of getting these veterans that are trying to reset. They say Sam Darnold could do that. I don't think Sam Darnold has the resume that Mitch Trubisky or Case Keenum has, and I'm not really interested in him getting some gravy backup job and then, going and being a POS somewhere else. So the Jets drafted him. He tanked. Baker, there's 2 quarterbacks from that first round of that class that are still on the teams they got drafted by, and they're doing really well, but they weren't very well touted during the draft, as I recall. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was Matt Corral, the Panthers' third round quarterback that they drafted this year. So they've got Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Matt Corral on their roster.
Yeah, it'll be Baker, but whatever. Yep. Again, don't care. Baker sucks. Don't care.
Don't care.
The only other thing that I wanted to touch on before we get into this 53-man roster, and guys, be thinking about what your way too early rosters are. And I'm sorry if you can hear my puppies, but they're really hot, so they're coming in here to hang out with me.
I got mine right below my table here, so I'm petting her too.
Richie Incognito. Now, some of you might be saying, why is Swank bringing up Richie Incognito? He actually retired again for the second time, possibly the third. I don't think the first time he was forced out, right? I believe. He sent this big tweet out to Raiders Nation and how he, the gist of it was that, he was retiring a Raider because the Raiders were the best organization, that blah, 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 blah. I talked to these guys about this, but Richie Incognito has crazy mental health issues, right? He's been very open about this, and he's done a lot of things that have led down that path. And actually, we said it on here before too. I know people with mental health issues that say that it is not a free pass to act like an asshole,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that Richie Incognito is doing that currently, but I was a little put off by the way he went out with the Raiders, based on the fact that he wouldn't even had a career with the Raiders if the Bills wouldn't have given him a second chance, because his career was over in Miami. He said some racially and homophobic type stuff down in Miami that got his ass kicked out of the league for at least a season, maybe 2, and then was given a second chance up here.
Yep.
And not only a second chance in the league, but a second chance on the Bills, because he was on the Bills for half a season, a few seasons before that. And then created this great relationship with Eric Wood and actually became a force and got his legs back underneath him. And, yeah, he is a badass dude. But the way he left here, you know, Eric Wood gets this crazy fluke injury and can't return. Like, that's got to be a nightmare for a guy like him. You know, you play your whole life, and he was like one of the positives through that drought. And then you got a guy like Richie Incognito. Like, you lose 2 huge staples to your line. Wood, justifiably. Richie, unjustifiably. Like, just because Eric Wood was gone. I swear to God that is exactly the way I felt when he left, right? Am I
Right. Yep. He lost his sidekick.
Yeah. So then he wanted to lose his damn mind and do all this crazy stuff and then get released or beg for a trade or retire or whatever. He obviously went about it the craziest, stupidest way that you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, okay, dude's got issues, but man, I wish the Bills would have got a little bit of a thank you in that. You could have still been like, I'm a Raider through and through, but you could have been like, and I appreciate the Buffalo organization for giving me my shot back at my game, my life.
Right. His character.
How many millions of dollars did he make because the Bills took a shot on him again and gave him?
And they were the only team that took a shot on him.
The only team. He was sitting there doing nothing.
Yep.
So that's my little rant about that, man. I just did not think. Yeah, Joey Hatch. I am talking about Richie Incognito.
I mean, the guy was a staple. He was a powerhouse. He played 2015, 16, and 17 when he came back, and the Bills' offensive running team was the best in the NFL 2 of those years. And, he was a sidekick at Eric Wood. He went to 3 out of his 4 Pro Bowls here in Buffalo. The fans loved him. And you're right, Jarrod. It created a whole new – it rejuvenated his life as far as people starting to fall in love with him again because of the way he played, not his comments and his actions 3 years prior.
Stuff and
Right. And then when Wood retired, he retired, and he doesn't owe anybody anything, but at least he can say to be able to be a Raider, he had to go through Buffalo first, and Buffalo reshaped him. Yep, I agree with you, Swank. It's kind of annoying.
Absolutely. Joey Hatch says one of the best blocking run game players you can get, Richie Incognito. Absolutely, man. Mm-hmm. But what we were saying is the only reason he got that shot to be that guy again is because of Buffalo, and he kind of just skimmed over the fact and made it sound like the Raiders saved his career or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just weird, and he's a weird guy, but a hell of a player. He was fun to watch when he was here. I'm just glad. Hopefully he's gone forever, so that'd be good. So really quick here, we got our Fandemonium fan profile of the week that we're going to hit really fast, and it is absolutely one of our favorites, one of the most loyal people that have been on this stream, Miss Paulette Brown. How about Paulette, huh? Yeah, all right. Hey, all right, Paulette.
Hey, Paulette.
All right, Paulette. Thank you for the support. Hell yeah.
Now, again, one of those OGs that's been with us since day one, watches the show, participates on the show. She private messaged me all the time, keep me updates on how she's doing and all that stuff. So it's pretty awesome. We got a handful of you guys that do that, which we love. We love. You are a part of our family, and we say it day in and day out, week in and week out. The reason you're on that profile is because, what you do for us, and we wouldn't be here without you guys. Mm-hmm. And if we could put all 8,950 you on our profile, we would.
No, we're up 9K.
Yeah, our page is growing.
Really?
Because of you guys. Remember, just keep sharing, liking, tagging friends and all that stuff. We want that page to get as big as we can, only because we love talking to you, and the more we can talk Bills football with the most amount of people we can is what we want, and we love it. Thank you, Paulette.
Hell yeah, Paulette.
I know what I love about Paulette is whenever she gets on, like sometimes she's late, but she sneaks in and says, "Hey guys, I'm just getting here." And it's like you can hear her saying it. It's because she's such a presence. I've never even met her before. And I know when she comes in, I'm just like, I'm always like, Paulette's here. So, it's one of those things. She's great. And again, thank you for the support. It's awesome. Go Bills.
Go Bills. And you can nominate people. Just get at us, tag somebody, DM, do whatever you got to do if you think somebody needs to be up there. We got a running list of like a whole ton of you. A couple of you in the comments right now. Mr. Berto Rivera. We got John Johnson. Congrats, Paulette. Joey Hatch. That is awesome. Love the podcast. Love the page. Love you guys. Thank you for everything you do.
Thanks, Joey.
You deserve everything that's coming your way. Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
We got Lady Bills saying congrats, Paulette. What's up, Lady
What's up,
Bills?
Lady Bills?
You can catch Lady Bills September 3rd at the regular season Rager right down here in Manchester, New York.
Manchester.
Reinvention Brewing. Come on down.
Come on down.
All right, boys. You want to get into this?
Yeah, let's get into this.
All right.
And Phantomonium, do what you always do. Participate. Let us know. We're gonna talk by position. Who was gonna make those spots, and maybe even some surprise cuts. But let us know who you guys are thinking for those positions that we're gonna talk about.
Hell yeah. We're going to start it right out right here, right now. We're going offense first?
Yeah, might as well. Let's go with the easiest position there, Swank.
All right. So, starting on the offense, way too early to tell. 53-man roster for the Buffalo Bills as of July 19th, 2022. At QB, I have Case Keenum and Matt Barkley, and that's it.
I agree.
That's
Yeah,
safe bet.
100%.
Safe bet right there.
Yeah, so I have two QBs, Josh Allen, Case Keenum. Any argument, any explanation needed?
None. I think the argument would be, Barkley or Keenum. Barkley has been there in the system longer. Keenum's new, but you don't use trade a draft pick for a quarterback, a younger quarterback that produces a little better than Barkley has. I think Barkley's going to play the Davis Webb role. I'm not sure if there's COVID rules this year because we never know what's going to happen. If Barkley's just going to be that guy just in case outside the locker room, in case both of them come down with COVID, he's going to be relief. But yeah, I think it's safe. Allen and Keenum for sure.
Yeah, more than safe, right? I mean, Case Keenum, he's got the references, the resume, the relationship with Stephon Diggs. He's done some good things. He's taken teams into the playoffs. I mean, yeah, he is this year's Mitch Trubisky, only better, I would say. Dare I say?
There's more confidence, I feel like, in Bills Mafia Nation there that Keenum being the backup is something more secure because he has a resume that's pretty damn good. My question would be, because I have Allen and Keenum as 1-2, if Araiza, sorry, Matt, but if he can't get that holding down and he's still punting the shit out of the ball, is there a chance that the Bills bring a third quarterback on that 53-man roster on Sunday?
No.
Nah.
Did somebody bet you'd ask that question?
Nope, that's just something that's been on topic for a lot of conversation. So,
Hey, man, I like it. We there is no dumb question, but that, my friend, no.
That's pushing
one of the
limits
best
right there.
quarterbacks, one of the best backup quarterbacks for the Buffalo Bills, Mr. Frank Reich, who we all love, was a holder in his prime or in the heyday. So I think that's when backup quarterbacks were holders anyway.
Yep.
But that was my only thing is, would they, if Araiza has an issue holding the ball, would they bring in that security blanket with Barkley and have him hold?
Nope.
And I don't know how Barkley's holding experience is anyway, but that would be my
I
question
think
for
he's
number
got a
3.
two-hand technique.
He interlocks fingers instead of holds of the thing. So
Open the steeple.
See the people.
So the only thing that's going to debunk, and obviously that was a past practice from when we were younger, right? If you look at most teams now, it ain't it. The punter does it. The value comes from the hold because the punter, I think most teams look at as a wasted spot if they can't hold, right? Because you don't want to put your backup out there to hold to get possibly creamed. And I think that's like an evolved line of thinking that's changed from when we were kids because, yeah, Frank Reich was out there, and he was a good holder, and everything was cool. Now it's like, if you're punting, you better be holding, and I do not see them, like, opening up an extra roster spot to bring a third-string quarterback when they've never had 3 quarterbacks on this roster since McDermott joined the team.
Right.
And I don't see him doing it even if Ariza is the worst holder in the world. I think they say, get better because this is your job.
And let's not forget Ariza's also getting those snaps from Ferguson punting. So the more snaps he gets punting, the more he'll know Ferguson's spin. He'll know it all ties them together. So Ferguson's snapping them for the punts. He'll be snapping for those kicks too. So he'll get used to it.
Yeah,
he'll get used to it.
Yeah. But I like bringing up the debate.
Mm-hmm.
A little turmoil in an otherwise sure thing. Thanks, Jarrod.
Right.
That's why I brought it.
All right, we're going on to running backs. First of all, how many running backs did you guys keep?
I kept 5, and I'm including the fullback.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. If you're including a fullback, I did 5 as well.
All right. If you're including the fullback, I did 4. So
Okay.
where are we going to start?
I think we start with the starter. I think all of us can agree it's going to be Singletary, 4.6 yards a carry last year. The line only got better with Saffold. Ryan Bates coming back. We'll talk about the line in a couple minutes, but Singletary, the starter, you have to have the second round draft pick in there. He's not going to get cut. So Cook will be there.
Yep.
And, the toss-up, I think the big toss-up was between Duke Johnson and Zach Moss. And I think with what Buffalo did bringing in James Cook, I think Duke Johnson lost his position at that point. Zach Moss obviously we haven't seen a lot of it, but he brings the inside to tackles, a short yardage capability, rather than what Cook and Johnson would have provided. So Johnson's out. I have Moss being the third running back, and Tywan Jones is obviously special teams ace. He's a leader. He's got the C on his chest. He's a team captain. And then obviously Reggie Gilliam. I do believe that we're going to see a lot more 12 personnel with Ken Dorsey as the offensive coordinator. That's why he brought in the line. That's why he brought in the tight ends, maybe even some 22 personnel. But with them, I think going to have the running back more involved. That's why I think the fullback is going to be more involved. He only got 13% of the snaps last year. I think they'll increase to about 20. So that's why I have those 5.
This fullback that we have on the team, Reggie Gilliam, is more than just a fullback, though. He's had many snaps in college and NFL as tight end. So if you're looking at 2, 3, or even 4 tight ends, 3.5 tight ends, Reggie Gilliam will fill that spot if need be. So that's why I have him as fullback / tight end. I agree with your running backs. Devin Singletary will start this year. James Cook, Scott said it before, is brought in not to be a starter. He's in to be an addition to the running backfield. So I have Singletary, like you, Zach Moss, number 2, James Cook, Tywan Jones, special teams, and Reggie Gilliam.
Yep. Okay. So, who are you cutting then?
All right. So before we get into that, I agree with your 4 as far as running backs goes. I got Motor, Cook, Moss, and Jones. And I want to say before everybody remembers the fact that I said Moss could be a surprise cut, I was on the Duke Johnson train. I was very discouraged by Moss, and I think that Johnson's got enough. He's shown enough over the years that you could get enough production out of him that would be a little bit of a change-up, that you could say, okay, this was a failed experiment with Moss. We can get by with Johnson, go and draft another running back next year. I am changing my tune. I think that Moss deserves this year to at least try to fulfill some sort of small role. I think he is a big body guy. I think he can do it, especially with the skills that Cook and Motor have. He could be a change-up back. I'd really like to see it this year. And I think that he's probably got a lot more to prove than Duke Johnson at this point. So just to be clear, I'll eat crow. I think Moss is going to make the team. I do not think Reggie Gilliam is, and I like Reggie Gilliam. I think that fullback position is moot now. I think they upgraded the offensive line with enough run blockers that they don't need a fullback, and I think that they've upgraded the tight end position with O.J. Howard enough that they don't need a hybrid tight end. And the amount of snaps that Reggie got last year compared to the amount that these other guys can supplement, I don't think it's worth the roster spot. So, as much as I like Reggie, he's my casualty. You'd be happy to know that I replaced him with another wide receiver because we need all of those that we can absolutely get.
That's a good point. Great point, Swank. That was it's going to be a battle at the running back position, and it's a wonderful thing, as we said in previous episodes. It's a wonderful thing to have is this problem. And if Reggie's a casualty because of the scheme of the game, love the guy, but it is what it is. And Swank, that's a great take. Love it.
Yeah.
So cuts will possibly to be Duke Johnson and Rasheem Blackshear. He's an undrafted free agent that they got.
Yeah. And Tywan Jones, obviously, special teams. I mean, he's not going to get maybe 1 snap, maybe. I think last year he got 2.
Yep.
So yeah,
He's just a force to be reckoned with. That Taiwan Jones guy.
hey, really fast. We hit up over 20 viewers, and one of those guys is somebody arriving late. His name's Buffalo Spartan.
This is Sparta.
Nice get. What's up,
Frank-
Spartan?
Frankie Mullen also joined us. He joined the page just recently, and it's good to see him coming on and joining us. Welcome, Frankie. He's from the Red Jacket area.
Hey,
Yeah, so Manchester area. He was he played at Red Jacket. He was a beast over there. Section 5 champs, I think, in '98. Frankie, thanks for coming.
How do you remember that shit?
dude, he's an
Glory days, man.
encyclopedia. An encyclopedia.
My only argument, real quick, for Reggie Gilliam is his special teams ability, and we all know how McDermott likes that stuff.
Sure.
All right.
I agree.
Okay.
Joey, we already talked about OBJ. We'll come back around and circle in on that. None of us were too hyped on it, or I mean, it's pretty mellow for us. If he signed, like, I really think at this point he'd be depth. And do you need it?
I agree.
Do you need to worry about the locker room with him? So we'll circle back around at the end. Paulette is here. Paulette, I'm gonna throw it up again really fast. You, of course, you know, you were the
Hi, fellas.
Fandemonium
Let's
Fan
go Bills.
Profile Fan of the Week. What is up, Paulette? Thanks for joining us. We love you so much.
Yes,
you can
we do.
rewind a little bit and see all the nice things we said about you, but we'll say them again. Don't worry about it. All right, guys. Moving forward here. Going to wide receiver. Jerry, how many wide receivers did you keep?
So I have 6, but 7 is not off the chopping block. I don't know how the tight ends are going to fill in or the running back position is going to fill in. So obviously we have Diggs 1, Gabe Davis 2. I have slot is Crowder. My other receiver, actually, no. Yeah, I have, okay. For my wide receivers in the background, we have Shakir, McKenzie, Kumaro, or Stevenson. So those are my 6 to 7.
Wait, so do your list. Just go straight off your list because it's so confusing. You're like, the ones I'm going to
Okay.
keep in a box, the ones I'm going to keep in the shadows.
On the field, week 1 is Diggs, Davis, and Crowder.
Okay.
The guys backing them up are Shakir, McKenzie, Kumaro, or Stevenson.
Or
Yeah.
and. Oh, okay. I see. That is
James
your list.
Cook's going to add a value to this passing game that we don't know how it's going to look yet.
Absolutely.
So there's that or factor.
Yep.
And so that's why I have that.
That's actually a great point. I've heard a bunch of podcasts saying that, Jarrod. Even McDermott had mentioned something about him being a wide receiver. Even though he's not going to be a wide receiver, but very well could take that position away from that 7th wide receiver on the list for sure. I'm going with 7, Swank. I'm going with 7. I'll eat crow too. I said Shakir would be a starter by week 10, but the more film I watch on Jamison Crowder, guys, Diggs, Davis, and Crowder alone, those 3 wide receivers are going to be so dynamic. The yards after catch that Crowder provides, we already know what Diggs can do. And Davis has gained some weight, got some muscle added, and it's noted. And his trainer says something about some people say he's too big, but that's just him still growing into his body. Man, we have a lot to be excited about. Shakir can play the border at the outside and slot. So I have Diggs, Davis, and Crowder starting. I have McKenzie, Shakir, and Shakir's also a good punt returner. So I was kind of on the fence between Kumaro and Austin. I'm going to go ahead and go Austin. Now that I'm going to 7, Austin and Kumaro.
Damn,
I think Austin.
I think
Taven Austin is going to be that surprise keep this year because I think he's not going to get a lot of touches, but he'll be somebody that's pretty dynamic when he does get those touches.
Listen, boys, I think you both bring up good points. And I'm going to tell you right now, your lists are phenomenal. We've said it for a couple of years now. There are going to be people on this team that are not going to be playing come September that you like. Mm-hmm. And that's a good problem to have. It's a bummer. But I have concocted a way where you can have your cake and eat it too. So last year, the Buffalo Bills kept 7 wide receivers. We're one of the most dynamic passing games in the NFL, if not the most dynamic. But this year, I have them keeping 8. And that's where Reggie Gilliam's spot went.
Yep.
Okay.
Diggs, Davis, Crowder, yes. Dirty, yes. Shakir, yes. Now you got Shakir, that young guy, coming up to fill in these spots behind these guys, right? Because, yeah, Diggs is signed for a while. Davis, he'll be here for a while. Crowder, you don't know. You got Dirty, you never know. Year to year with that guy, right? Kumaro, solid veteran that's proven himself to be clutch when he needs to be. Tavon Austin, because you have had problems returning the ball. Now, if Shakir, like you're saying, is good at returns, who better to learn from than Tavon Austin? And then the one guy that seems to be out on the wire, second-year player, Stevenson.
Sure.
Stevenson. Now, I think the way that works out, man, you got old reliables, you got some backups that have been in the league for a while, and McKenzie and Kumaro, Tavon Austin, and then you got the young guns that can come up. And I'll tell you what, Stevenson doesn't show out this year. He gone. That's it for him.
Right.
Because you just what wide receiver doesn't want to be on this team?
Mm-hmm.
And the way this roster is constructed, they could go get a wide receiver first round next year. You know, and
Swank, some people would even say with Josh Allen as your quarterback, what wide receiver wouldn't be good on this offense?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're looking at it, we'll call it the Tom Brady effect, right? Tom Brady makes every offensive coordinator a head coach. What happened to Brian Daboll this year? Josh Allen, Brian Daboll, head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking about wide receivers. You got these young guys. Maybe there's that like smoke, like that Tim Settle smoke, where that defensive line was so good he couldn't get a chance to go in and do what he needed to do. But you got guys like Stevenson and Shakir. Maybe they're amazing, and when they got on the field, they shined. But they didn't know because the room was so crowded.
Right.
You're creating value in these guys and mystique, and they haven't done anything. Or the other option is they ball out, and you keep them cheap, and that's great too. So I just think having that eight bullet clip capacity, man. You know, you get as many wide receivers as you can because Josh Allen needs as many targets, and the Cook thing, that is beautiful. But look at the way Breeze operated. He had Kamara in the backfield. He still had a parade of wide receivers. Like the most hated fantasy position in the world was a Saints wide receiver because you never knew who Drew Brees was going to throw it to.
Right. Yep.
You know, so
what's a GM's favorite position to get? Quarterback, Josh Allen. You're paying him. Why are you paying him? To dispense the ball to everybody.
Yep.
And when you're looking at stat lines and you're looking to pay people and you want to throw stat lines into the conversation, you have 5 receivers with 40 receptions. He's going to be something else. He's going to be the reason. Josh Allen's going to be the reason why this team stays relevant and healthy, and the players getting paid what they're. And it's a wonderful thing, you know, to be able to dispense the ball wherever you want to do it, spread it out everywhere, and
he'll be doing a lot of it.
Hell yeah. All right, boys. How many tight ends have we kept?
I kept 3.
Jerry?
2.5.
2.5. Oh, you count Reggie?
Yeah, I count Reggie.
I kept 2. So, Scotty, start with you, buddy. What do you got?
Ken Dorsey, we still don't know what kind of offense he's doing. I do believe the 12 personnel, which is 1 running back, 2 tight ends, is going to be seen more often. That's not going to be the primary offense, but there's a reason why they brought in O.J. Howard and some offensive running guards. So I think they're going to run the ball a little more or just get the running backs more involved. So they need tight ends to block. O.J. Howard, huge body. I went with 3 because I still want to give Tommy Sweeney a chance. Injury and not a lot of playing time. He is a legit number 3, and I think he could produce even if they brought in a 23 personnel goal line offense. To have those 3 guys out there would be awesome. And then Reggie Gilliam, I think, will play the fullback tight end position. But I just want to see 3 because I think, like I said, Ken Dorsey will bring more of a 12 personnel, and God forbid Howard or Knox get hurt, Sweeney will be right there to back him up.
Hell yeah. I mean, so my 2, Knox, OJ Howard, and then I got Sweeney going to the practice squad.
Okay.
And obviously he doesn't count. They don't stray too far from that formula. Again, you got Knox, who's showing out as a top 5, top 10 tight end in the league right now, and just getting better, has more physical characteristics than a Kelsey. Like, he can completely, fully evolve into that super tight end that everybody thought he could be. And he's doing it right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I think between him and now you got a substantial backup in O.J. Howard and a good blocking tight end and a guy that never got the opportunity to really show what he could do. So I think those two are really solid. And then, to have our boy.
Hey guys, I said it. OJ Howard's going to have the best year of his career. It's not going to be quality or quantity. It's going to be quality. I do believe he's a red zone presence, and I think his size, his run blocking will be very effective, and he's going to love being in Buffalo.
Oh yeah. We got John Osborne over on YouTube saying trying to run more so Gilliam stays. I can see that point of view, man. Joey Hatch says Josh Allen is the grease and the gasoline that runs the machine in Buffalo. Ooh.
There you go.
You write songs, Joey?
There you go. Grease and gasoline.
Paulette says Josh Allen is the fire and heat that nobody can get. Lots of emojis.
There you go. I could see definitely Cook getting the touches, 5 to 10 touches a game, and Singletary still getting 15 to 20. So I think the run game will definitely be more involved.
Oh yeah.
So the Bean likes to bring in players who are kind of dynamic at not just their position, but can turn over in another position. So that's why I have 2.5, because you never know what the 2.5 is going to be. You have Knox, obviously, and you have Howard. And I think, Scott, what you said, quality over quantity is going to be the X factor. And we said that last year. What's Knox's success going to be? It's quality, not quantity. With O.J. Howard, it's not going to be quantity. It's going to be quality. Mm-hmm. And going back to what Swank's always said with Tommy Doyle, he's another tight end option that you could have. So you have Reggie Gilliam and Tommy Doyle.
I never thought I'd do that again, but here it is.
Right? Because there's another option. If shit hits the fan, T. Doyle can come in and play a little bit of that TE.
Hey, he's got a career touchdown.
Swank, bold prediction. Bold prediction. How many touchdowns is Tommy Doyle scoring this year?
Over-under. Let's do over-under. 1.
If we're going the whole offensive line, I'd say 2 is the over.
Okay. All right. Very good. I like that option, though, man. The guy gets
Deion Dawkins getting one.
Did Snowman get one last year? I think he did.
Right? He got one. He got one prior, the year before, I believe.
He has one, though, right?
Yeah, he does.
I feel like he has one.
I think he has 2. We'd have to look that up. Yo, Phantomonium, get on them stats really fast. All right, kiddos. Let's move on to this offensive line, unless you got something else to add. Jerry?
We got him. No, we're good.
No, we're good.
Jared, cool.
We're good.
Yes, Jared.
Cool. All right, offensive line. I'll start this one out if you boys don't mind.
Get it, Swank.
Last year we kept 9. This year I got us keeping 9 again. We got a couple question marks, possibly IR. So I have my solid 9 that I believe will be on the roster, the Manchester regular season Rangers, September 3rd. And then I got a couple guys that I think will start out training camp and by the beginning of the season either be replaced or if these guys get put long term, they'll replace the guys that I got. So we got Mitch Morse, Deion Dawkins, Saffold, Botger, Bates, Spencer Brown, Tommy Doyle, Quessenberry, and another crow eater, Ford.
Keep him Ford.
But with Botker, Doyle, and Brown all banged up, I think Brown will be ready by training camp. I got Van Rotten and Mance as the guys that are going to start out possibly the beginning of the season, replacing those two guys.
Mance.
Okay, you just made your roster look like mine. How many did you keep? 9?
I kept 9 with 2 floating around with the IR.
Right, I had Botker being on the PUP list for first 6 weeks.
Okay.
So I kept 9. I kept Dawkins, Saffold, Morris, Bates, and Brown will be my starting offensive line. I believe with the ability to move all these players around, Quessenberry can play tackle and guard, so I think he's there. Mans can play center and guard, so I think he's there. Van Rotten, I think, is going to take over the Ford position. I honestly thought Ford would be there with Cromer being an offensive line coach, but when they brought Van Rotten in, it let me know what they really thought about that offensive guard position. So I think he's going to take over. I think Ford will be gone. And then Doyle. I mean, Tommy Doyle is a work in progress still, but I think he can develop into be one of the better backups in the league. So those are the guys I'm going with Ike Boker being in the PUP list. And if, God forbid, any of those guards or get injured, he'll be ready week 6. So that's the offensive line I'm going with. I think it's an awesome offensive line, and they're going to be even better with Cromer manning that offensive line locker room for sure. 2019 is when Deion Dawkins caught that touchdown catch.
God,
He's got one
last year. That was
Not
just
last year.
just Doyle. Okay.
He was targeted last year, but he didn't catch it.
I'll say this about the Ford thing, man, because I'm whatever. I don't really think he's gonna make it, but I've heard so much hype around him that I'm starting to become a converted believer slightly. I think this is like my long shot homer, Duke Williams.
Duke Williams,
Duke
yep.
Williams kind of thing, like my Hail Mary, like if any story can be saved. Because I really don't think I don't see it. But I heard Sal talking about it on WGR. I've heard Jeremy talk about it on WGR. I heard Shope talk about it on WGR, which he's like usually like the most negative dude ever. And I think this could be the year. If he's gonna do it, this could be the year. If he stays healthy, he could do it. This could be his year.
In his defense, this is the first offseason he's been healthy.
Yes. And Bean had to see something. He has not failed that horribly on any pick thus far. This is like his like aside from like Wyatt Teller, like, right, letting him go. And obviously you'd like to have him back, and he said as much. But I also heard a thing about that where it's like there's a lot of difference between blocking a guy 5 yards downfield and, holding a pass rush against Josh Allen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Completely different offenses, so maybe he wouldn't have worked out here. Who knows?
Right.
But I gotta say, I'm like completely turning on everything that I said at the beginning of this offseason, man.
It happens, man. It's offseason. You're allowed that.
I'm rooting for him. I want Cody Ford. I want him to do good, man.
What a great story it would be.
I know. If he came back and it's like everything hit him and he sunk and he's like, I'm healthy, and he actually
clicked.
came out and it clicked, and I don't even want him to be a starter. Just like a solid backup, man. Like somebody that can come in and get the job done when you need it. That would be beautiful to me.
Swank, there's a reason why these guys are still in the NFL. And I saw a little clip of Brian Urlacher talking to, and I hate to forget this, but he was in the bus with another player. You guys might have seen this podcast. And at first, when he was playing for the Chicago Bears, he got benched as a starter, as a middle linebacker. And then he's sitting there on the sidelines. 2 games went by, and then one of the Chicago Bears, the Sam linebacker, got hurt. And the coach was like, Urlacher, go out there and play Sam linebacker. And Urlacher's like, I sucked at linebacker. I said, what do I do? And the coach said, just run to where the ball is. And that was the end of the season. That was the end of the story. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So it just depends on the coaching. It depends on who's there to develop you. And, as a Bills fans, obviously whoever is on the team, we want success for.
Yeah.
So Cody Ford's one of those guys that we've been hemming and hawing about for the last couple of years. But if it clicks this year for him and it happens, then it does. And we'll be excited about it.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, man. The depth on this team right now at that position is more than adequate. Like, if he wins it, or if he wins a backup job, he fought his ass off to get it. Because there is no easy passes here. There is not one position where you can stroll in and be a starter. Like, you have to fight your ass off to become, like, the second string guy at every position here, I think. Right? I mean...
Well, to put that in perspective, Swank, right now, starters and backups, the third string left guard started all 16 games last year for the Jets. So, I mean, there you go.
All right, boys. So that's our offense. 25 starters I had. Did you guys have totals for your guys?
I had 25. I'm going 28 because let's go this real quick. Bass is our kicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ariza beats out Hawk. I'm sorry, I apologize. Beats out Hawk for the punter.
Wait.
And then, nope. And then Reed Ferguson.
Name, I'm over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is get back to...
And then Reed Ferguson will be our long snapper.
I've heard of trading jersey numbers, but I've nenever heard of it that way. No.
I hate to fly through those guys, but Bass has got his position.
Yeah.
And he's the number one scorer in Bills history as far as single season. Ariza, punt god. I can't see unless he totally messes up during the training preseason. I don't see him losing that spot. And obviously Ferguson, he's earned his spot. He's earned his stripes. He's there. So I hate to skip over you guys fast. I know Jared tagged Reed Ferguson on Twitter. So Reed, we love you. We love your antics on Twitter. We love what you do there. But
he's got a great podcast too.
The reason we're talking about you so fast is because we know you got that guaranteed spot, man. You're legit.
Hell yeah, man. And get that guy's Madden rating up. And stop listing him as a tight end. What the hell?
Is it 35? Is it 35 for his rating?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Super low.
No. Reed, you deserve better.
All right, guys, we got 5 minutes until we go into overtime.
Yeah, we're going into overtime. I knew this was gonna happen. Jerry, he missed a week here. He's got to get his.
I think I might have mentioned possibly going in overtime, and I'd be okay with it.
Did do that? You did.
I did.
All right. Here we go. Defensive side of the ball. Let's. Did you guys split up defensive ends and line, or did you just do D line all the way across?
I just did D line.
Okay. Well, that's fine. We can do that. Who wants to start? Jerry?
I'll lead the way.
Oh, okay.
DT1, Ed Oliver, one of our favorites. DT2, Settle. Woo! Defensive end, Russo, and DN2, Von Miller. I know some of y'all have him as outside linebacker, but I have him playing the outside defensive end. Also, to finish it off, we had Basham, Phillips, Daquan Jones, one of our favorites, Shaq Lawson, Scott's favorite guy, and AJ Epinesa making it.
So what's that? 8?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 DE and DTs.
Oh, because you put Von. Okay, so
Von's on there.
Just for your sake of anybody keeping score at home, I did list Von as a linebacker just because of the numbers, not really because I think he's going to be lining up as a linebacker all that often.
Right.
Okay. What do you got, Scott?
I had 9 as well. I have our 2 tech threes being Oliver and Settle. I don't think you're going to skip a beat with any one of those guys. I think we mentioned earlier in the show, Settle fell behind a lot of first-round draft picks. He kind of was a shadow of those all-star players. He's going to be able to make a name for himself when he substitute for Oliver this year. I do have Daquan Jones and Jordan Phillips being our tech 1 guys. They both have good size, both veterans, and both have a freaking high motor. If you saw the Twitter of Daquan Jones, man, he looks jacked. So I honestly went with 4 defensive tackles, with Basham being a DT/DE. So I think Basham can do both. He did lose weight. He does look a lot stronger and faster this year, which is also, that's what the Buffalo Bills front office does, is they get the guy they want and they make him turn himself into the specimen that they want. I do have defensive ends as Russo, Epinesa, and Lawson. I think Russo will get most of the snaps, but I think the Epinesa and Lawson will be obviously rotating in. And as an edge, not a defensive end or an outside linebacker, I have him as edge and Von Miller. I think we're going to see a lot of 4-3 over and unders. There'll be a lot of times you see 5 defensive linemen out there, but that will be when Von Miller is considered the linebacker at the edge. A lot of dangerous possibilities for Leslie Frazier this year, and I just can't wait to see it. I went 9 total, including Von Miller as the edge guy. And I feel bad for the AFC offense for sure, the quarterbacks.
I'm going to tell you what, the Leslie Frazier point is huge. He does feel slated that he hasn't been a head coach. He mentioned that. He didn't say it, he said it in his Leslie Frazier kind of way, but he thinks that he should have been able to get another shot at head coach like by this time. And he credits not being able to because he's not offensive minded. And I think his argument for that was that, like, it didn't mean that he couldn't hire a good offensive staff, and that he didn't understand offense. It was just that he gets typecasted as a defensive-minded coach. And I don't really think he did that bad of a job in Minnesota when he was up there. I always rooted for him, like, whatever. But I think this is, like, his year to be like, okay, I think he's got all the toys he could possibly want, and I think you're going to see everything. He's got a solid core of guys that have been here for a while, and that number 1 defense is going to eat. So I love that you brought up Leslie Frazier. My line, DEs, Groot, Epinesa, Lawson, Basham. D-line, Oliver, Phillips, Jones, Settle, and NQ.
Eli Ankow.
Yeah, Ankow. I think that D line, man, and again, the only way it broke up like that was like D's on paper. I have 4 linemen. I have 5, but Vaughn, you're gonna put in that D group, so it's a total of 10, really.
Yeah, because
Right.
Vaughn's a hybrid. He could play both outside linebacker and the defensive end.
Yep.
But Eli Ankow, he had a lot of snaps last year, and he was a solid force in that interior defensive line. So I like that you put him there.
Well,
But he's got an uphill battle with Daquan Jones and Jordan Phillips coming in. But
sure, but I think offensive line, it's all about the trenches, man. 100% about the trenches. So offensive line, I had 9 dudes, keeping 9 dudes. Defense, we got 9 dudes, 10 dudes with Von Miller. Last year they had 11.
yeah,
So they value this position. They value the line. It starts there, it ends there, and they didn't get the production they wanted last year. So I think they're going to have more guys deeper. And I just, it's such an upgraded, crazy position. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts to think that, like, you got Groot and Basham, who are second-year players, right? And then you got Settle and Jones, who haven't been in this system. Von Miller, who hasn't been in the system, but he's a pro's pro, right? But then you got guys like Shaq Lawson and Jordan Phillips. They weren't here last year,
Yeah.
but they were here before, you know? So it's like so much familiarity, but so fresh that it's exciting, man. It's really exciting. So
It's funny how the brain works, because all these young kids are going to be getting so much information from different angles. It's going to be crazy. What they retain is going to be something else. But you got to remember, I think Ed Oliver led the defensive ends and DTs with percentage of play with 62% maybe.
Yep.
So all these players that we mentioned are going to be key factors. It's not like somebody's going to be on the sidelines the whole game and this and that. All these players, all these 8, 9, 10 players on the DE and DTs are going to be playing half the game at least. And they're all high mortal.
Yep.
They're great athletes. They have experience. They're going to be talking the whole game back and forth to one another. How are you going to beat this guy? I'm going to beat him this way. How did you do it the last time? It's going to be crazy. And it's going to be nice for the linebackers and the secondary.
Yep.
They're going to benefit the most about this. And it's going to be just 85 Bears. What?
Yeah, the sack. Hey, Swank, and to your point, like you said, they had 11 last year. I think the reason they kept 11 is because they had Addison and Hughes still trying to train the Epinesas, the Russos, and the Bashams. And now that those guys are gone, these guys have developed into the system, and they don't need as many because now they're more confident in what those guys can do. If this D-line doesn't give you guys goosebumps, you better check to see if you have a pulse.
Cold, dead heart.
Yep.
Name, I'm over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is give it back.
For
Yeah,
sure.
when I get my Stream Deck, it should just be a button.
Yep.
All right, guys. Linebackers. I got them keeping 7. Again, that's including Von Miller, so 6. Last year they kept 6. I have Edmonds, Milano, Bernard, Miketovich, Dodson, and Smith, which he suspended. His replacement, Lee.
Okay.
What do you guys think about that? What do you guys?
I have a little different. I went Edmonds as my inside linebacker, and their traditional 4-2-5. Milano's going to still be that outside linebacker, but I do believe the Klein position, since he's not there, is going to be. You guys will be surprised by the production of our rookie in Terrell Bernard. I think he is I've said it, Milano 2.0. You're gonna love what he does. I mean, yes, it's the NFL compared to college, but the guy just seems to have it. And then he's one of those guys that we have 3 preseason games, guys. I'm excited about that. We're going to see, and he's going to get a lot of playing time. So you're going to see him learn a lot, maybe make a couple mistakes, but once he gets comfortable, you're going to see him fly to the ball. I have Tyrell Dodson, a guy that's been there a couple years. I think he does play the linebacker position well. When I say inside linebacker, obviously it's Edmonds, outside linebacker Milano and Bernard, linebacker, which is Dodson. He could play both. And then for my 5th guy, I only kept 5. I'm going with the rookie from Clemson, Braylon Spector. Miketovich does a good job special teams. I just think the Bills need to start finding who can replace Edmonds if he needs to be replaced. Not a fast guy, but the guy in Clemson seemed to have a knack for finding the ball, taking the gaps, making the field shorter than what his speed would suggest. And so I'm going to give Spector the nod. Andre Smith, outstanding special teams guy. He is on the suspension. We'll see where they move some players around when he comes back. But for now, it's just a 5 for me.
Nice. Jerry?
Edmonds will be considered defensive MVP by the end of the year. Milano. You can't have one without the other, right? Those two guys are hand in hand together. They're a force to be reckoned with. And Marquel Lee, Bernard, because when you look at outside linebacker, we have Milano and Taron Johnson / CB / Nichols / safety / so Taron Johnson's a big guy for me, but Bernard can also fill that position too. And then Matekovic, that special team ace. We're going to have 2 on that special teams. We're going to have Taiwan Jones and Matekovic. And if you go back and watch the film on him, I think he ranked 3rd or 4th in special team tackles this past year. He's a beast. And that's why I have him as the special teams linebacker. So I agree with you guys, but that CBOLB number 2 is going to be the huge thing. And I can't wait to get the CBs because we're going to have a discussion about that. But Taron Johnson's almost considered an outside linebacker in some cases.
All right.
Dun, dun.
Well, everybody's we got 2 position groups left here, guys, and if you're just joining us, we're going over our 2 way too early to tell 53-man roster.
Way too early.
And we went through the offense. We're almost through the defense. We have CB and safety left. We got a lot of people asking about CB and Trey and all that stuff, so we're gonna go safety.
Okay, makes sense.
I feel like that makes sense, Swank. Yeah. Yes, good job.
So, what do you got, Scooter, for safety up there?
Safety to me is just as easy, I think, as a prediction as the quarterbacks were. You got Poyer and Hyde back there. We can go into depth about the contracts, but I think we've talked about that the last couple of shows. It'll get done, guys. But Poyer and Hyde, definitely the safeties. I think Hamlin was brought in to potentially take over Poyer if it happens. So he's there. And Jaquan Johnson, I think he is an amazing special teams guy, and he could play that position as well. So those 4, I think, are pretty set in stone.
Those 4 were the 4 last year, and for me, those 4 are the 4 this year.
Yep, and all 4 are familiar with one another, so it's going to be a pretty consistent locker room.
So they have 4.5 with Serene Neal too. So there's that confidence too. So you have Poyer, Hyde, Hamlin, Johnson, and Serene Neal. And we all love Serene Neal. He's been here for a while now. He could play the CB and the safety if need be.
Can you go over that list again? What'd you say?
Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Johnson. Did you guys say Johnson?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Hamlin?
Johnson. Yeah.
You didn't say Hamlin. That's why I was
Yeah,
asking.
I did.
You did?
I thought I did.
I didn't hear it.
Hamlin.
So Jared's got Taron Johnson as an outside linebacker and Sarah Neal as a safety. I wonder how many corners he's keeping.
Well, if you were keeping track at home, you could have told us, unless he messed up his math.
Yep.
This happens every year, guys.
I
you know
Neal
that.
as a CB, by the way. So
I do
me
too.
too.
Slash.
See, you always got to make shit complicated, dude.
I do.
He also enjoys finger painting. All right, corner.
And short walks on a long beach.
Short walks off a long pier.
Frankie Mullen says, are you guys making bets on who's closer to today's 53-man roster versus the September 8th roster? Frankie, I'm going to give you a little task. I'm going to give you a task, Frank. Watch the show over again. Write it all down, and you can let us know.
Listen, we all got it written down. I'll go gentleman's bet with you guys.
There you go.
Do a 4-pack from the other 2 to the winner.
Yeah, full pack of what kind of beer we want? We want it from other half?
Winner's pick. Winner's pick.
Okay.
Who gets closest?
Whoever gets closest, yeah.
Okay. I have mine written down,
got
so I'll send it.
5 guys that are different between all of
Yeah.
us. So.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is, though. That's a big thing.
I like that.
Corners.
Frank Mullen. Good get.
Yep.
All right, we're on corners here. I think we can do the first 4. Well, how many did you guys keep?
I'm keeping 6.
5.5. I'm going to mute my...
Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. So I have I have 5 with the assuming that Trey isn't starting. I got the guy. Same deal with the other pup guys. So 5 with 1 extra that'll end up on the practice squad.
Okay. I have 6, and then when Trey White comes back, he's knocking the 6th guy off and taking back a spot.
Who's the guy you're knocking off, Scott?
It's a tough call. I'll tell you my starting. Without White, I had Dane Jackson CB1, Elam as CB2, Johnson as our nickel, and Neal's got to be that dime back for now. Nick McLeod is making a name for himself. He did it last year, and I think with the depth the Bills had last year, it was hard for him to maintain a roster spot. But keep an eye out for him. And then Cam Lewis, obviously, he's been a guy that's been hanging around Buffalo for a while. But it's tough for me because that Benford that they got from Villanova, he didn't play against very high schools, but he had so many passes defensed. He's one of those guys that you're kind of rooting for. He's another Duke Williams or Christian Wade, a guy from a smaller school that has the potential. And we always preach iron sharpens iron. Who knows after 3 or 4 weeks of going against Diggs and Crowder and all them stuff, if he's a fast learner, we don't know yet. So I'm kind of on the fence between Cam Lewis and Benford. But I think right now the 6 would be Elam, Johnson, Jackson, Neal, McLeod, and Lewis. And when Trey White comes back, Lewis is off.
Okay. So I have White, Elam, Johnson, Jackson, Neal, and then White comes back. Whatever. Lewis starts when White comes back. Lewis goes to the practice squad. That's what I got.
Okay.
I think we're on the same page.
Yep. Johnson,
Elam, Jackson, and Neal, McLeod, and Lewis.
I don't have McLeod. So
okay.
That's the difference, I guess, between all of us.
There's been a lot of good talk about this guy, McLeod.
But you're only keeping 5, right? You're keeping 5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay. Yeah. So
5 with the switch out.
Hey, I'm telling you, this is the second year McLeod's been on the roster, and like I said before, he's played facing Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Crowder. It's going to be something else. These defensive backs are going to be good. They're going to be good, so it's going to be hard.
Well, we know Taron Johnson's nickelback, right? CB number 3, but you have Dane Jackson as number 1.
Yep.
Is it experience overrides everything? Is that what you're going with? Okay.
Yeah, Elam's not going to be number 1. They won't do that to him.
I have Elam as number 1 because he proves it.
Okay.
But in order for him to prove it, I think he might have to play all 3 preseason games, right? And play it through.
I was just going to say that you're going to see him play all 3 preseason games.
Right.
But you're going to see Benford get a lot of attempts too.
I'll tell you right now on this depth chart that I got right now, and obviously it doesn't mean anything. They got Johnson backing up White.
I said that a bunch of shows ago. I think Taron Johnson's done enough for Buffalo to actually battle with Dane Jackson to become the CB1 until White comes back. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. I can't see them not at least giving him a try. I can't see that not happening.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think keep him where he's at. Do the slot deal with him and let it be. Just
because you don't want to change up too much, right?
Yeah, you want to keep that continuity, but the X factor in all of this is like, what does it look like when Von's out there? If they're going to move everything along, if it's going to be pushed down, if it's going to be a different look, then maybe it changes the position.
That's the thing, Phantomonium. That's the thing, Mafia, is this defensive line and defensive linebacker crew have been revamped, and Leslie Frazier is chopping at the bit to get them after the quarterback. The quicker you can get pressure on the quarterback, the easier the defensive back's job is. They don't have to hold the coverages. They don't have to worry about 3rd and 4 different changes with the wide receivers. It's got to be a quick step and throw. They can make their reads faster and they can jump on the ball quicker. So this defensive line has been revamped to make it an easy transition for Kyle Elam as a rookie and anybody that needs to step in for the CB1 position.
And generally speaking, you're talking about the CB position. So when you have a defense that's doing it up front, doing whatever they have to do, and the CBs can float and play the game, those 2 guys in the back are the ultimate coverage safeties. So Poyer and Hyde.
That's the thing. You have Poyer Hyde back there too. Yep. You're right.
And you have a more aggressive line that can get to the quarterback, create more problems.
So the middle of the field can play a lot.
Yeah.
They can play a lot and see what happens. And that's exciting. That's, I think, how you want it, right?
Yeah.
Really when do you guys think Trey White's coming back?
That's what I was going to say. Debbie Iverton was asking about that. And Debbie, we love you a whole lot. Hope you're doing well. She said, how's he doing, though? I've been out of the loop for the last month. Joshua McKinney Hoffmeister. Did I say that right?
Welcome, Joshua.
What's up, Josh? Not ready yet. He's ahead of schedule, though. That's everything that we've been hearing. I mean, I've heard everything from October to he'll be ready to go week 1. You know, I think common sense and history shows us that the Bills training staff is not going to push him even if he thinks he's ready. So, knowing his work ethic, he's there. He's doing what he needs to do. He's pushing through it. They're not going to tell you anything about it. I am predicting, and we can put this down for our 4-pack bet, week 3, he's there.
Go. Okay.
All right.
First divisional game against Miami. There you go.
Right. Week 3.
I'm going a little later, Swank. I'm going a little later. They play against the Chiefs in week 6. Then they have a bye week. I think bye week is when they're going to bring Trey White back into it, get the defense reestablished to come back and play up against Aaron Rodgers and then Green Bay Packers week 8. So I think it's going to be week 8.
Nice. What do you think?
I think we have such a strong team offensively and defensively that you got to let this young man heal, and whatever the medical staff decides and whatever
he's not going to pick.
Trey
Every
White
time
picks.
We say
no, but
he's like,
to be honest with you, Swank, I love him back week 1, but I'm expecting the Bills to do great things this year. So wait until after the bye. Give him that extra week. Bring him back in Green Bay. That's my
guys.
So you're picking what your brother picked?
If by week 4, if the Buffalo Bills are 4-0 or 5-0 by week 4 or 5, I could see them waiting.
Just because we're doing so well. That's the only reason why.
If they're 1-4, 2-3, they might bring them back a little bit early.
Yeah. I don't see that happening. I don't see us being that record, and I don't see them pushing him back just because we are that record. I just don't. I don't think McDermott. He cares too much about his guys and the longevity of this thing. So I don't really think there's any urgency. I think that they could lay a big old egg this year and everybody be like, oh my God. And he'd still be, I'd be like, what was 22? I don't remember that year. Who cares? Anyway, it just, I don't see it happening. Yeah. I mean, we could draw up any scenario that would make it look right, sound right, look good. But it's just fun to talk about because this is a boring time to be in football. Till next week, man. We got a little training camp action, some no-pad practices to talk about. We're trying to score some tickets to St. John Fisher University.
Universidad, yes.
Universidad.
Let's see.
Guys, I love the new names we're seeing on here today, and the participation was, again, crazy.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys so much. And it's nice to feel the love after we took a little break. But we'll be full steam ahead. Next week, you can look forward to some training camp takes from the Reed twins and myself. What else we got going on next week?
In the next coming weeks, we're still going to do a little push for the Mid-Lakes Screaming Eagles, the Vince Lombardi program there. We have 2 new era stadium, I think 1 by 1, 1 foot by 1 foot, a white turf and a green turf that we're going to give away or raffle away. We're still going to get the details out on that, but we want to help that Mid-Lakes Screaming Eagles Vince Lombardi program out there a little bit. So look for that, and that's going to be fun. That's a nice piece of memorabilia right there.
Oh,
Josh Allen spit on there and chewed his bubblegum on there, right? Is that what we're saying?
Rookie season. Yeah.
Yep.
Do we each have a piece of that? You have a piece of that, Scott?
I got a little piece, yep.
Yeah, sweet.
Scott's got a little nugget.
Got a little nut.
It's so cute.
That's all I need.
I got a nice 1 by 1.
So what happened real quick is Mid-Lakes, the field is being revamped, and they make a lot of their little league guys are making a lot of their money via the concessions, and the concessions aren't going to be there. So we're going to try to raise money that would otherwise help pay for the equipment, help pay for
training.
Certificates, training and all that stuff. So we're going to help the Mid-Lakes Screaming Eagles, Junior Eagles out, and that's going to be a good thing. 2 pieces of turf. Why would you not want some of that memorabilia for sure? That's awesome. And it's certified. So cool.
Yeah. I remember when it actually before we started doing this, they put that up for sale, and I got Jarrod. I think I got it because I was like, dude, you're doing these cool helmets, and like they'd be really fun to like display on with just like that 1x1, and it's a little piece of history. It'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Joey and Josh must be fringe, and they're talking about they might be starting up a podcast soon. Listen, if you guys need any help doing that, man, shoot me a message or whatever. Thanks for being such good friends and followers and observers and watchers. But yeah, anything I can do to help, let me know.
That's what we're here for, guys. The Mafia has each other's backs, so it doesn't matter what part of the podcast or pages you belong to. Let's get people on them. Let's talk some football. Keep it positive. You know, that's what we love about our page so much is we're able to filter out some of the negative stuff. So keep it positive, man. There's some fans out there, we could be 16-0 thinking Josh Allen still sucks. And it happens. It's there. I'm not kidding you. So keep it all positive, guys. Got a lot to look forward to. Life is good.
Hell yeah. Uncle James says, why you're not at St. John Fisher? The team's not even at St. John Fisher yet, you son of a bitch.
Dark parking lot.
We didn't talk about this at all, and we're already 20 minutes past overtime. But I was kind of bummed on how they did the tickets for Fisher, man.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people were. You had to get them off the app. They crashed the app like 5 times, and then a bunch of people got them, and that was it. So, I don't know. Like I said, we're working on something here. Jerry's got some kind of connect, and there's something with like season ticket holders where they possibly might have access. So, we know a couple of them. We might try and get in on that. But we also got to figure out which games we're going to here, boys.
Yeah, because we want to meet you all. I'm hoping Steelers, guys.
Want to see a little Mitch Trubisky?
Trubisky?
Well, we don't play a lot of home games. I think we got one home game in the first 5 weeks. So.
Right.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, because this is our off year, right?
Well, at Rams, then Monday night against the Titans, then at Miami, at Baltimore, and then it's week 5 when we hit the Steelers. So it's going to be all the way in October until we can go to our first game.
Damn, it's going to be like my birthday weekend.
Yep, there you go.
Did you hear that they changed Heinz Field to something stupid?
Yep.
That is crying shame.
Sriracha Field.
Yeah. Sriracha. Ranch dressing
Mayonnaise.
field.
Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, a lot of people here.
Hellman's Field. I was going to pick on Eric about that in the group chat because he's always throwing out little digs.
KY Jellyfield for Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
Lubriderm. Who knows?
Hey, Scott's had a couple beers. Hey.
Sleep kit.
All right, guys. Well,
all right.
We love you. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Yep.
Jerry, hit us out with your final thought quick.
The 49 individuals on the Hall of Fame committee, you need to get that Steve Tasker name in your mouth and the Kent Hall name in your mouth. Steve Tasker, 7 Pro Bowls, actually more than that, but 7 All-Pro voting. That's something else. It's unheard of. Kent Hall led that K-Gun offense. K-Gun offense to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Helped Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, Thurman Thomas, also Hall of Famers, get to where they are. Recognize. You got to get them on your lips and get those 2 names in the Hall of Fame. Great night. I was glad to be back. I missed you guys. It was fun. Can't wait till next Tuesday. What are we going to talk about next?
Who knows?
About Mark Maddox coming September 3rd. That's just amazing. I can't wait to talk with him and shake his hand. It's going to be freaking sweet. But go Bills. A lot of exciting things coming up. You know, be positive, like Scott said earlier, and go Bills. I'll see you next Tuesday.
That was pretty good. I think I'm going to get one of those red lights like they got at like the Emmys.
Boop.
When people are like talking, doing their speech too long.
And
it's like applause.
And
mine's going to be short and sweet, Swank.
That was great. So, hey, guys.
For those of you that couldn't get tickets, they all sold out. Yes, that was a bummer, as Swank said earlier. follow your favorite content creators. There's a lot on Twitter and there's a lot on Facebook. You can listen to us on Tuesdays. We'll give you updates, but Matt Perino, Ryan Talbot, Josh Brown, WGR 55, Channel 55. Those are guys I follow. They are legit. They do a great job.
Sal Capaccio.
Joe Marino. Those are a couple names that guys you might want to follow.
Thomas.
Yep, Ryan Thomas and Ryan Thomas Sports Podcast. Ryan Thomas Takes. Yes, there's going to be a lot of information that they're going to be able to express to you guys. So if you can't make the camps, listen to those guys. Hit them up on Twitter. Hit us up on Twitter. And, stay positive. I guess that's the theme for today. The football season, the rookies are at camp, and the veterans are next week. It has begun. I'm going to the Colts preseason game, taking my 6-year-old. It'll be his first game ever. Can't wait for it.
Hell yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah, guys, listen. This was a great night. Thanks for being so supportive of us. 2-week little hiatus. Don't forget about the Rager, September 3rd. Mark Maddox, ex-Buffalo Bill. Bills Mafia Babe member. The only male member of the Bills Mafia Babes. Mr. Mark Maddox. One of the best guests we've ever had. Reoccurring guest. Sweetest guy. No BS. Tells you exactly how he feels, what it is. Great insight on the game. We are so excited that he committed to coming up and being part of this. And it's just really like a crazy testament to how much work we've put into this and how much support we've gotten from you guys and the super fans, our friends, Shout for a Cause, Lady Bills, Buff Spartan, Bills Jason, all the deep cut guys that have been with us and ladies for the longest time since we started this little thing, and we're streaming to 3 people on YouTube, as I say very often. Thank you guys, and please come up, be part of it. It's going to be so much fun, so much cool stuff, and I don't know where else you can spend $5, get entered in raffles, meet a football star, meet all your super fan friends, find a beer that you like that's released for that day specifically, listen to some sweet jams, watch a live stream live, and meet all these great people that you get to talk a little junk with in the comments during Tuesdays, right? Like
$5, man.
$5 and going towards the Help One Foundation. It's going to be awesome. So please come out, hang. It'll be great. And as always, you can catch us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the K-Gun Report right here on whatever platform you're watching us on. That could be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, any of them. You can also check out the audio on your favorite podcast platforms. You got your Apple Podcast, you got your Spotify, you got your Anchor, or anywhere else that you listen. And, man, just thanks for being great, guys. We really appreciate it. And with that, go Bills.
Go Bills!
Go Bills.
Go Bills!
This is a dangerous group.